Happy Tuesday, gang. Here's our Tuesday warm-up. All right, so we got an EMOM by 5 minutes. We're gonna be working for 50 seconds for each. So starting with 50 seconds of single unders, then 50 seconds of slow single dumbbell strict press, then 25 on each arm, single leg, single unders, or on each leg, excuse me. And then we got minute 4, 25 dumbbell overhead hold on the right side, then 25 seconds on the left side, and then 25 seconds of single unders. Lastly, 25 seconds of tall jumps, and those are gonna be single unders. All right, so we're starting 50 seconds of single unders. So just knocking them out. If you don't have a jump rope, you'll ghost rope. Then we have 50 seconds of slow single dumbbell strict press. So we'll hold by each side, and then we're just pushing to the hole right here. Make sure we keep that core down and tight, and we're not going through the hole. We're not pulling our neck through, but just going to the hole. Then we got 25 seconds of single leg, single unders on the left, and then same thing on the right. So you're trying to just like it sounds, jump rope on one leg. It's gonna need some coordination. And again, if you don't have a jump rope, you'll just ghost rope it. Then we have 25 dumbbell overhead hold on the right. This is pretty explanatory, but keep that core down and tight as well. And just hold right there, 25 seconds. Really trying not to lean at all either side, but keep that core stable. And then 25 on the other. You make sure you have bicep to ear there, and we're not having elbow bend. And lastly, we'll have 25 more seconds of single unders, and lastly, 25 seconds of tall jump single unders. So these you're trying to jump nice and tall. This gets us some practice for double unders because you have to jump tall there. Make sure with these you're not tucking your feet in and doing like a curl with your hamstring. Don't do this. We're not going for that. See, he tripped. You might trip if you do that. We're trying to just jump tall. So straight up, straight line, right there. Alrighty. For our workout, we got an EMOM by 12 minutes to start with. We got 8 and 8 dumbbell push jerk. We're gonna go moderately heavy with that if you have a couple weight options at home. Minute 2, you have max seated dumbbell overhead hold. That'll be 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left. Then we got 4 wall walks, or if you don't have a space for a wall walk, you'll do 4 slow inchworms. Then 8 single dumbbell devil press. So you're gonna have 3 rounds of that, working through that. Then you'll have a minute of rest with EMOM by 12 minutes of minute 1, double unders, or you can do single unders if you're not quite at double unders yet, or you could work on double unders there. Then alternating V-ups, then overhead kettlebell swings, and lastly, a plank hold with alternating kettlebell taps. All right, our push jerk. You're gonna go knee bend, punch, and then land and knee bend. So it's that double knee bend there. So make sure you're getting underneath that weight quick and you're not pressing out with your elbow, but you're just punching the ceiling. It's one movement with your arm and just locking out, getting underneath it. So that's gonna be 8 on the right, 8 on the left there. And then we have a max seated dumbbell overhead hold. Again, you could go 30 seconds on the right side, 30 seconds on the left, and that's what we would recommend here. If you wanna go a whole minute on one arm, next round do the other minute. Just know the last round you're gonna do 30 seconds and 30 seconds. But with this, make sure you're sitting tall. You're not hunching over. You're not having bad posture here. Make sure your posture is perfect and we're activating our core. So therefore your core and your arms should be the only thing doing your work. That's why this is a seated one, because your legs, we don't want your legs doing any of the work here. Then we got those 4 wall walks or inchworms. So wall walk, you're gonna start in a plank position, and then you're going to walk your foot up the wall. As you walk your feet, you're walking your hands back, and ideally you would get nose to wall right there. If you can't quite get there, just get as far as you can, but make sure your hips stay over your shoulders the whole time. You don't want to curve your back in at all. So if that means your feet aren't as high, that is okay. Your goal isn't to get your feet super high and your back to arch, but to control your hips over your wrist the whole time. Or if you don't have a spot, maybe you have frames on the wall or something, you can do slow inchworms. So what this looks like is hinging down, walking out from a pike position, slow and controlled into a push-up position, and then slowly back, letting your arms and your core do the work here, and really thinking about this movement. And then, minute 4, we got 8 single dumbbell devil's press. So with this, you're gonna do an offset burpee, and then from here, you're gonna jump up. He's pulling that dumbbell back, kind of like a kettlebell swing, and then popping it overhead. So again, pulling dumbbell back, popping it out in front of him to come up and to go overhead here. So pull back, pop, right there. Not quite a snatch, not quite a kettlebell swing, but using your hips, using that pull back to come up. Then you're gonna rest a minute, and then we got that EMOM by 12 minutes of double unders or single unders. I think y'all know those. Then alternating V-ups. So we'll be down on the ground for this one. And make sure you throw your arms first, and you're trying to touch your shoelaces. Right there. If this doesn't feel that challenging, you could try stay in a hollow position. So here, his other ankle is not on the ground, his heel's not on the ground. That's gonna be a bit harder, so challenge yourself there. Then, next minute, we have overhead kettlebell swings. Or, if you have a dumbbell, use the dumbbell, just as good. You're hinging and then popping your hips. You gotta be extra explosive with this being overhead. We're used to just going to eye level. If you've had prior shoulder injuries in the past or this feels kind of tweaky, just stick to normal eye level. But we're really squeezing our glutes and we're popping forward, but make sure we don't pop our hips too far forward. Then lastly, we have the plank hold with alternating kettlebell or dumbbell taps. So you'll have your weight out in front of you, and you're gonna be in a nice plank position on your forearms, and you're just reaching and touching, trying to move your hips as little as possible, and using your core to stabilize you here. All right, guys, go crush it.